Alfie Strong. You may not know who I am, but I know exactly who you are. So allow me to introduce myself to you. You see, my name is Tex, and I have acquired for myself a large amount of wealth that I earned in the oil fields in West Texas. And as one does when one has amassed a wealth such as I have, it behooves oneself to diversify your portfolio. And that's exactly what I've done. One of which is a casino, a successful casino, I might add, on your side of the pond. Now, the other day, I attended a business meeting with my executives, as I often do. And it was made clear to me that a significant amount of my money was missing from my casino. I grew up dirt poor in West Texas, and we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. But what we did have was all the pork that we could eat. You see, there are a number of feral hogs that run loose in Texas, and the U.S. government does not limit the number of hogs that you can kill in a given year because there are so many. They are so numerous. And so we found ways to deal with these feral hogs in ways that I can only describe as creative. Why do I tell you this? Well, to me, Alfie, you are a pest that needs to be dealt with. And like a hog, I have some creative ways that I believe that I can deal with you. So let's talk ombre to ombre, shall we? I know that you did not pull this off by yourself. My casino is far too secure to be penetrated by the likes of a single man, regardless of how big his head or his ego. Now this means that you must have had a team of men, professional sharks, as it were, men who knew their way around a game of cards. Now I have painstakingly viewed every second of surveillance footage from my casino on the day in question, and I did not see your face enter my casino that day. Nevertheless, I do know that you are a gambling man. You are a man who likes to take risks. And to that, sir, I tip my hat, because I also am a man who likes to take risks. And so I propose a gentleman's wager, a game of cards between men. I have here a deck of cards. I propose that I shuffle this deck and pull the top 5 cards. If I pull anything except a royal flush, you can keep my money. You may go. You will never see my face again. As God is my witness, I will not come after you. But if I manage to pull a royal flush, son. And I will not stop until I have tracked you down and gotten back what is mine, what is owed to me, with interest. Let's begin. Lucky day, perhaps. As a token of my respect to you, Alfie, I'm gonna give you another shot. Let's see if I can do it again. Well, looky there. You see, Alfie, I control all the cards. I can make them do or say whatever I want. Because I'm in control. I'm at the top. And you, boy, are at the bottom. But maybe poker is not your game. Maybe you're a craps man. Let's try a friendly game of dice. Craps rules, 7 or 11 wins. Two out of 3, maybe. One last chance for you, boy. I'll give it to you now. Now, even though I have just demonstrated that I'm in control, that I hold all the bases, I'm at the top, you are at the bottom, etc., etc., there are some men beneath you in the hierarchy, so to speak. And I can respect a man, such as yourself, who tells others what to do. But there comes a time in a man's life when he must get his own hands dirty. I'm not above that. But I am afraid that you are still not taking me seriously. So allow me to demonstrate for you my tools of inquisition. There's a common misconception that the best tool to deprive a man of oxygen is a piano wire. But for me, in my experience, I have found that a paracord works much better. It's got more texture. It's got something to hang on to when you're doing the job. I prefer it to a piano wire. Another thing about a paracord is it has more uses. You can use it to catch a wild animal, such as yourself. Make a trap. You can string up a said animal. You can use it to tie up said animal. because they're far easier to get a hand on. We don't have too many pianos around here in Texas. We do have a lot of guitars, but I have always believed that it is a crime against nature to take a guitar string off of a quality guitar. So in the absence of a piano wire, I prefer a paracord. And that, Alfie, is why I always like to have one on my person. Another tool that I like to carry on my person at all times is his pocket knife. Every man should carry a pocket knife with him. You never know when it might come in handy. Now this particular knife I got when I was a boy. It is the first thing that I ever purchased with ill-gotten gains. And so ever since I have kept it. This knife and I, we made a lot of memories together. You always want to make sure that you keep your knife sharp, just like your mind. I don't know if you know this or not, but a dull knife can often be more dangerous than a sharp one. A sharp knife is clean. You know exactly where it's gonna go. But a dull knife, there's no telling what dumb direction it could bounce off to. And I have found that the same can be said for men. It's the dull ones you gotta look out for. Now that is what originally drew me to you. After I found out about my loss of money, I thought this boy here, he's a dull one. I do not know what he's going to do. And so I intend to sharpen this pocket knife against you as I sharpen it on this here whetstone. I intend to stay sharp, Alfie. And I intend to keep your mind dull till the last moment. There we go. Now that's nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. Now the final tool that I like to keep on my person at all times, he's a good lighter. See, you never know when you might need to light a fire under something. It's a good tool to have for that reason. The interesting thing about fire, it doesn't care what you are. It's blind in that sense. it will consume you. Regardless of how big you think you are, how strong you think you are. When I was a younger man, I used to run cattle in West Texas. And the time would come to brand a steer. Now that is a hot affair, let me tell you. I don't know if you've ever been to West Texas in the summertime, but there ain't always much shade. And it'll get hot. Hotter than a hornet's nest. And you've got your fire going. You've got your brand heating up. Sweat's dripping off of your face. And you get ready to brand that steer. Sometimes that steer don't exactly sit still for you. Goes a little too wild. And sometimes when you try to brand that steer, you might brand a man instead. The smell of burned cattle is quite similar to the smell of a burned man. It's uncanny how similar it is. I think you get the picture. Hey, Chuck.
Yes, boss.
Hey, get in here, son. I got a job for you.
Copy that, boss.
Now, I'm about to get on my private jet. By the time you get this video, I will already have landed in London and begun with my men to painstakingly and methodically track you down. So, I suggest that you start looking over your shoulder. And I also recommend that you get your crew, your team, your gentlemen together. Because you're going to need every man you can get. Because I'm coming for you, Alfie. Let's go.